Hey guys, welcome to a new vlog. I am picking up where we left off last vlog because it is a long weekend and I still have another day and a half to get things done. So I am planning to finish the prep work for the walls so that when it comes to tiling, it should be all ready to go. But by the end of this week, I need to have all the base cabinets in. So I feel like I've got a lot of stuff to get ready. So I'm just prepping to sand the drywall that I patched, but I'm gonna need to do another coat of the plaster just to make sure that it's good. But I wanna show you how I'm pulling off the stuff from the old tile backsplash. So this is what I want it to get to. And there's a product called Drydex that I have, and I will show you that I'm gonna cover this on. But in order to have the tile grout stuff stick, we need to get all of this off. So I'm using this tool, which if you follow Cass Makes Home on Instagram, I believe that's her handle. She swears by this multi-tool and I already had one, but it's a really good scraper. She uses it for all sorts of things. Yeah, so I am scraping this off with it. Good morning, it is holiday Monday and I'm just trying to make pancakes in this construction zone. Mostly because we have no other breakfast foods left because we haven't gone shopping due to the fridge issue, so. All of the patchwork had its second coat, so I've got to give it a sand. And I put the Drydex over top of the paper, the brown paper that was exposed from the drywall, and you can see it's all like a brown color, whereas the stuff that wasn't touching it isn't. So I think that's pretty interesting. The color bleeds through, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to sand it down and then I'm going to give it a coat of paint. And then hopefully I can take that wall down and have access to my kitchen again. We just got back from a really nice walk. We found a little local bakery and I got a cherry cheese Danish, which was delicious. I just cut it in half because it was huge, so I'm gonna have the rest later. But I'm gonna start my sanding. I have so much to sand, so I decided I was gonna put on a shower cap. I have on like not nice clothes that can get dusty, and I'm gonna wear a mask so I'm not breathing in all of that drywall dust. I think I threw my back out moving all the IKEA boxes. My lower back's just killing me, so I'm taking a bath and hoping that that will hopefully make it feel better tomorrow. I'm feeling worse for wear today, so because I got everything cleaned up in the kitchen, I started moving the IKEA boxes, and like they were pretty heavy. There are a few that I knew I needed Chris's help with. And I don't know if this happened right with this other thing or if it was just strenuous, but I was putting down one of the boxes, which was like over 40 pounds, I think, and Finn got underneath as I was letting go, so he got smushed, but I also threw my back out, and I don't know, or like just tweaked it or something, like my lower back. I don't know if it happened exactly at that moment, but I'm in pain. It's the next day. I've been stretching, I've been trying to make it feel better, I've been taking Advil, and we're not getting better, which is super frustrating. And obviously I was super worried about Finn last night, but he seemed absolutely fine, maybe a bit shaken, but Chris was like, no, he's fine. Like, he doesn't have internal bleeding or anything like that. It's okay. And he's back to his usual self today, so I'm sure that's true, but let me just show you the kitchen, how it is right now. So I've got all of these boxes. That's the box from the armchair. And then I still haven't heard back about the fridge situation, so I'm hoping to hear back from that. And then I'm also hoping to be able to start building some of this when my back feels better. The sink was delivered today, and my back is feeling a bit better, but still sore, and I had to lift it in here on my own. And you wouldn't think that a sink is heavy, but let me tell you, it was very heavy. So let me just quickly show you that. Also, before I do that, I never told you what kind of sink I went with because I put up a poll on Instagram on whether I should go with stainless or white quartz, and I got so many horror stories about people who got white quartz and it chips and it stains, and it just seems like a nightmare. And part of the reason we're doing these renos now is because I don't want to be doing them one day when we have kids, and so if I'm doing that with kids in mind, and that's why we're doing our banquette and not just making it a big kitchen, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't gonna go ahead and get quartz and just make it more complicated. So I went with stainless. Obviously it's not gonna look as amazing as it might have if it was quartz, but I don't think it's gonna take away from it that much. So let me show you. So I got this on Amazon. They sell this brand at many different places, so I'm not super worried. But so I got a 60/40. You can install it this way or flip it around. It came with the metal racks that perfectly fit on the bottom, as well as, you know, the drainy things. It feels really nice quality. And there's this one on this side. And it apparently has a bunch of different accessories that you can get to go with it. And the only one that I was like kind of considering that I'd maybe like the drying rack or the cutting board. I can only see the cutting board online, so I might get that. I don't know, but the cutting board fits perfectly in here, so that's why I'm kind of thinking of it. I know a lot of people like the big single sink rather than the split, but it just doesn't, we had that in our kitchen that we just took apart. And I like to have a place to put drying stuff. Like I almost every single day have at least 1 or 2 things that need to sit in a drying rack. I have smoothies every day, that sort of thing. That doesn't go in the dishwasher. So that's why I wanted a little drying space, not for things. I put all my plates in the dishwasher, but you know, there's always a few things that need to go in the drying rack and I don't want them sitting on the countertop. So that's why I did it that way. There's one other thing. So I'm gonna start building my IKEA cabinets. I'm gonna start with the base cabinets today, I think, and hopefully the countertops are being measured next week. So that means all the base cabinets need to be ready. I will not have the panels, but All Style told me what the thickness of the panels are gonna be, so I can just note that to the people when they come to measure for the counters. Because I couldn't get that one sink cabinet from IKEA because they're like really back ordered or something, I even called them. All Style built one for me. It's a little more expensive, but I just feel better knowing that this whole project isn't going to be held up by one cabinet. So I have that coming tomorrow, and then next week I'm going to have the measurements. So hopefully by the end of this weekend, the whole base cabinet situation will be built. And there's one other thing I wanted to mention, but I think I need to like show you visually so that you're not just staring at me and understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so I started to have a little bit of a panic the other day. So this is my IKEA kitchen that I did. So it kind of looks like the layout of our kitchen. So you can see how I made the kitchen have this one that comes down to the counter. So this is, I believe, a 40-inch cabinet, a 40-inch cabinet, a 40, and then a 20. So I didn't want the doors to be split, like right here. I wanted it to line up with this one. So when I sent my order to All Style, I said, hey, can you do a custom, this door for me, rather than having a 40-inch and a 40-inch, can you do a 60 and a 20 so that these ones line up and then this doesn't feel like split in half. But then I started to panic because this support would be visible in my glass. Kind of get what I'm saying? So I'm thinking that this will be attached to the wall. This will be attached to the wall, and I'm gonna have to try and like put these supports somewhere else. But I believe that the side panels are the ones that touch rather than the top panels like coming over to the edge. I think that these will meet rather than these. So I think it should be okay, but I was definitely starting to get worried about that. I just looked outside the front door and noticed that rather than the delivery person coming up to my door, they would just leave my package on the steps in the rain. So I just noticed there's a package there soaking wet. I don't know how long it's been there for. The motion camera didn't pick it up because they didn't come to the door. They stopped at the steps rather than coming all the way. I think it's the sink faucet, so let's unbox that. Let's unpackage this a little so we can look at this beauty. So here is the beautiful bridge faucet I got. I believe I got the polished chrome. There was stainless, but it was brushed, and I just didn't think that had the right look that I was wanting. And then I also got the sprayer so that if you ever need to spray something, you are not stuck. But I think that this is going to look better than the nickel just with the sink. So I think I'm going to hold them up to each other somehow. It's like all like in here, so I don't think I want to remove it just until it's installed, but I'm going to try and hold it up to the sink so I can get an idea of how it looks. I carefully unpackaged the first box, so I'm going to build the cabinet that goes over in the corner there. Hi, Finn. So I've got this box that I'm going to build on just to protect the floors a little bit. I know that these floors are going to get scratched eventually. I guess I'm just trying to prolong it. On the run from my given disaster. Speed away from the holy mind, pride. That's where I never thought it would matter if I'm gone. So I laid out a whole box of tile just to check if there were any broken ones. There were 4 in this particular case, and I've got 6. And then I also, because there's color variation, there are some tiles that are just too dark that I know I will not like. So I've removed them. I put them off to the side so you can see the color variation there. So in this particular box, there were 5 that I will absolutely not use, which is fine. Then there was this little pile here, which is a little bit darker, but I wouldn't say it's unusable. I just decided I would separate them out, and then all these other ones I think will be fine. And you can see that they've got this beautiful texture to them. You can see there's also glue on here. And they're all stamped with the thing that says made in Spain, which is pretty cool. So I think I'm going to lay these out just to get a feel for how they're going to look on the wall. I'm sitting on the floor of the living room just feeling super stressed because I don't think I like this tile. So there were a few tiles that were broken in this particular box, and I've got 5 other boxes, but also the variation in color is just significantly more than I thought. And I mean, the color is different than what was on their websites, so I think I'm going to try and return it, but I don't know how I'm going to get a replacement for tile in time. I'm really nervous about that. I reached out to one company that I've used before. They have something that's coming in 4 to 6 weeks, which isn't going to work. So I reached out to another company. I haven't heard back yet, but I'm thinking I might call them just to settle my nerves on this whole thing. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a refund on this. I'm hoping I will, but when I went through the process on Wayfair, the price that it said that they were refunding me was significantly different than the price that I paid. And it said that there was $90 to pay for shipping to return it, but that was it. So I didn't understand why there was still like a discrepancy of a few $100s. So I'm waiting to hear back from them. And I still don't have the fridge situation settled. So I'm just not feeling overly great today. So I just called Wayfair because I just need to get rid of this pit in my stomach about this tile, because tile's expensive, and to not know whether or not I was going to get a refund on this was just not feeling good. And I had submit like an online thing to them, but I'm impatient. So I called them and she was able to pull it up. She saw the picture. She said, you know what, since this is damaged, we're going to go about this a different way. We're going to refund you the full amount, and we're going to arrange for someone to pick it up. So you just need to put on the day of the pickup, you just need to put it outside for the team and they'll pick it up. So I'm going to pack up all these tiles. The color variation looks okay on camera, but I feel like it's more significant than that. So yeah, and now I'm just waiting to see about tile. So I called the one other place that was recommended to me about the tile that I was looking for, and the person was so nice. So the company was Creekside Tile in Toronto. The man that I spoke to was the sweetest. The other company I called, honestly, I felt like they didn't have the time of day for me. This guy was just the sweetest, and he helped me go to the special spot on their website to see the tile that he was recommending, talked through the different colors, said that like if I wanted a sample, he'd put it in his mailbox and I could go pick it up. I think that Tiffany might have a sample, so I'm hoping that I can just walk over to her place and get it. I'm waiting for her to text me back. If not, I said to the guy, if I come and I like the tile, can I take it home with me right away? And he said, yep, we can make it work. So that's what I'm thinking. Also, that tile is a little bit cheaper than this tile, so that makes me feel a little bit better. And it's also nice to know that that company is very nice and wants to help people, so that when I do in the future work with clients, that I can then buy tile through them versus the company that didn't have the time of day for me. Customer service is important, friends. I feel like this reno is just constant worries, which I mean is probably every reno, but maybe not if someone else is worrying about it for the person. But my current worry is, does the sink fit in the sink cabinet? So let's watch. The answer is no, it doesn't seem to fit, which I don't understand, because isn't a sink cabinet like pretty standard and like a sink standard? In any case, I discovered this is bent. So I think it's gotta go back anyways, and I think that it's used because like why is this pulled up like this? So yeah, fun times. I'm sitting on the floor of the entry laughing to myself. So I ordered hardware from Rejuvenation, which I thought was a company in the US that designers and whoever used that you can now get in Canada, like most things. So I was able to order and I was able to get a trade discount, which was awesome. And I haven't seen any updates on the order. So today I used their live chat to say, hey, just looking for a status update on this order. And she said, oh, it's in the process of getting ready to be shipped. And I said, okay, like no worries. Like, when do you think it'll be shipped? And she said, you know, it's in the warehouse. They're a little bit behind, but next week. And I said, okay. And I said, what's the shipping like for Canada? Because I didn't see anything on their website. And she said, you know, 1 to 2 weeks. Okay, great. So a UPS truck just came to my door and delivered a package. And what do you think this is? On the same freaking day that I contacted them about it. So I don't know if I'm gonna get double hardware or if all the hardware isn't here. I would have expected to pay duty and I didn't have to. I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Maybe I will get a surprise envelope in the mail in a few weeks paying duty. In any case, it was cheaper than what I wanted from Wayfair, and I think it's actually going to be better. And one of the things was out of stock until like June 5th, and this was all in stock. So I'm going to open them and let's see how they look. So I opened one of each. These are the ones that I'm most excited about. They're the little latches. So I don't think I have too many of these, but the sink cabinet, and I think we talked about this before on what's going to have those. Finn is helping. Got little knobs that match, and then the pulls, they look a little bit small to me, but I didn't see difference in like size this way, only like in width. So I don't really know. Maybe these will be okay. I didn't like the look of the longer ones, so I'm thinking that this is what we're gonna go with. And they're unlacquered brass, so they will eventually, I think, look a little more worn and less shiny, which is kind of the vibes that I was liking. But the price point was really great on these, so I'm very happy with this. Last night, I finished putting together all of the base cabinets so that today, hopefully we can deal with all of the recycling and then install the base cabinets and figure out all the holes that need to be cut for like plumbing and things like that. Here is the progress so far. So this is the corner cabinet and the 24-inch. So we're just gonna stop for a tea break and then put in, this is the other corner cabinet that's different than this one. So that will go here. And then we'll have the dishwasher, the sink cabinet, and then the little garbage cabinet. So I am just measuring out where this plug is in relation to this cabinet. So we measured, got the little square there, and I have got the jigsaw, so I'm going to try to make sure that it is accurate, but no promises.
But you got me good, you got me good. I can't.
A bath after a long day is just what we needed. Help my aching body and my sore back feel a little bit better, but we achieved a lot today. Just making pancakes in our somewhat of a kitchen. This is the progress that we made yesterday. So it's looking pretty good. These aren't attached yet and the plumbing isn't put in, but everything else is attached. And I just need to figure out how to attach these to the floor, because I believe that I do have the piece to do that, but I feel like it's weird. Like, why do you need to do that? Because these are attached together. There's a big chunk of quartz on top, so I don't know. We will figure it out, but it's so much nicer to have all this space versus when it was on an angle before, so I'm loving that aspect of it. And I think that when we have the banquette here, it's gonna be so nice. Happy Sunday. I thought I would just quickly walk through what is completed, what needs to be done before I wrap things up for this week. Also, I think that hopefully on Tuesday we should have the fridge resolved, but I don't want to jinx myself, so I'm not gonna talk too much about it until next week, and hopefully by then there will be a new fridge and we will have groceries, because it's been, I think, 5 weeks since we've been grocery shopping for like a big grocery shop. Also hoping that on Tuesday I'll be going to look at and hopefully pick up the new tiles, as well as have the countertops measured. So in the next vlog, I'll talk about the countertop choice and all through that process. So that's kind of why it's been a mad scramble to get all the base cabinets in. So as I said in the other clip, all of these ones are attached. I just have to do like the last little step. So they're on the rails, but you need to put like a little thing in here and turn it so that they're secure and they can't just pop off the wall. But these cabinets are not attached yet. And something that I did not account for, nor did it say anything about it in the IKEA plans, is this piece that's about 2 inches that goes on the side of this corner cabinet. So it pushes everything out 2 inches, and I do think that it's worthwhile just so that, you know, the dishwasher door opens. Our last kitchen, while it had this corner cabinet, did not have that. So it did create some issues, but I think it's worthwhile, even though then this cabinet doesn't perfectly line up with this. But again, I think it's okay. I need to put the plumbing into the sink. So you can see there's the plumbing drain. I need to put the other pipes so that it comes through the cabinet. Everything is leveled in here. But these need to be attached. And because the sink cabinet I had to get not through IKEA, I think I'm going to take out this piece and this piece, and I've ordered the IKEA sink piece that goes in just so that it's all works a little bit better together. So I'm hoping to have that to switch out. But other than that, we're in pretty good shape. This cabinet is slightly deeper than the other one, so I did have to kind of push it forward a little bit, because this space is where the banquette's going and it's going to perfectly fit when the back panel's on. So because it's stuck out a little bit, we had to push it all forward and then line up the fronts. So it's a little bit off, but I think that should be good. And another thing I'm not positive about this piece is if I have a decorative strip to go here, but I think we can figure that out even if I don't. And of course, the cats are loving all the shenanigans. However, this is Finn's favorite spot to sit. And he's gonna be very sad soon when it's covered with a piece of countertop. So that's kind of where we're at. I haven't built any of the upper cabinets. You can see they're all piled behind, but the countertop needs to go on the cabinets so that the one cabinet that comes down to the counter and sits on the counter can be installed with the other ones all correctly. I know it's a little confusing. And then, so once the countertop goes in and the upper cabinets go in, then we can tile, and then I can do the range hood cover. I'm slightly nervous that the range hood cover isn't going to be done in time for the one room challenge. It might be an after thing, but I think it'll still look fine. I'm really hoping that I can get it all done, but I'm starting to feel like this crunch where everything has to be done in a specific order. Like I said, the counters, the upper cabinets, the tiles, all of that. So we'll see. But in any case, I am going to wrap up the vlog here, and hopefully I will have lots of updates for you next week, and hopefully I'll have the fridge and the tiles and every little problem that I was having last week resolved. Have a great week, guys.